So as you can tell from my title and probably my previous video, this is my high-end beginner's starter kit. I've seen a couple of these videos now, but I just wanted to throw mine in there. Just like my other video, this is just what I would tell my younger self about high-end beauty and my high-end starter kit. I wouldn't say you definitely have to have this as your starter kit, and I wouldn't say you definitely need these products in your life, but for me personally, I found them to be amazing and they have really helped me develop my makeup skills and my love for makeup anyway. Some of these products were literally the first things I used anyway as a high-end beauty, so I think it's kind of right to include them. So again, like my last video, I'm going to go through them as face order, so primer, foundation, concealer, yada yada yada, and that's how I'm going to do it. So here we go. For face primers, I'm going to show you my very first facial primer. Obviously it's developed over the years, but I always still go for this primer, and it's the Benefit Porefessional primer. This guy has literally been my life for so many years now, probably like 3 or 4 years. When I started getting into makeup really heavily and I was YouTubing and starting my blog, I did a huge Benefit haul, and in my Benefit haul was this primer, and that was the first actual proper haul of high-end makeup I've ever actually done. So yeah, and 3-4 years down the line, I'm still loving this primer. When I run out, I always have to get a brand new one. I've got samples, so I use those. It's literally my life. I can't live without it. Even though I have other primers, I will always go back to this one. So that's kind of why I would recommend it, especially if you're having trouble with large pores. It is a really good primer to have. It really mattifies the skin and fills in those pores. It does have a silicone feel, but it is still great. There is still other primers now that I think are a lot better, but as a first time high-ender, this one is great. Foundation, I think this literally is everyone's first foundation of high-end, and it's the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. I had to buy a pump. It doesn't actually come with a pump, so if you are starting out, you don't necessarily have to buy the pump. It is $4.99, so you don't need it if you don't want to, but I found it just easy with a pump. But this guy, literally, MAC, I think for a lot of people are the first place they go for their high-end starter kits, because they have all the shade ranges you can think of and the tones, so they have warm and cool tones. So yeah, this has literally been my favorite for so many years now. I always use it. I'm gradually not using it because I've fallen in love with other foundations, but sometimes I still go back to it if I'm having such a bad time with like blemishes or redness. I will still keep coming back to this bad boy because it's such a great foundation, especially when you're working as in a high-end starter kit and you want to cover those blemishes. This is the way to go. And if you are starting out and you want to go for the high end, I would definitely recommend going to MAC, because they will be able to shade match you easier than other brands, especially other high-end brands, because not all of them do a wide range of colours. They might do different shades but not different tones, and it's actually really nice to find a foundation that suits your skin tone perfectly, that you will end up going back to it all the time. Concealer now. This one is fairly new, and it is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. That is a mouthful. Now they have, again, like MAC, they have different shades and different tones. So this is fair neutral, because I wasn't sure whether to get the warm or the cool or the neutral. So I went for neutral. The consistency is amazing. It's just like the collection Lasting Perfection. So it's moist but not too moist, and it's creamy enough that it blends perfectly but doesn't move foundation underneath. I would recommend these for concealing, for brightening. They now do colour correction ones, I believe, green, yellow, salmon, so you can use those to colour correct. You can even get a darker one and do cream contouring if you want to. So I absolutely love this, and if you're a beginner and you need a high coverage concealer that is creamy enough, that blends well, but thick enough that it covers, this is the way to go. I always powder my face because I'm so worried about being shiny all the time, and this one again has been an oldie but a goodie, been with me since the beginning, and it is the MAC Studio Fix powder. Now this again is completely the wrong shade for me. It is a lot pinker than my actual skin tone, and it comes off a little bit lighter, so it makes me look a lot paler, but it is a great foundation powder. So the reason why I said foundation powder is because it is a foundation powder, but I love to set my face with this, especially when I've got a really bad day with blemishes, because it has coverage to it, so you actually have to choose a shade range. So this shade range is the same as the foundation, but for some reason the foundation looks better than the powder. The powder is a lot more pinkier, but it's great to add that bit more coverage, especially if you've got real bad blemishes and they can't just cover up that easily. It's great, especially if like you've got oxidization. It's a great powder. But yes, again, great for everything that you possibly need, and not only that, in the bottom it also comes with a sponge. Not that I really use the sponge that much. This one is a bit dirty because I did try to use it, but it's not the best of using, but it is a great powder to have, and it comes with a mirror. Again, loads of shade ranges and tones, so I would definitely recommend this as a face powder. Obviously I'm not saying you need face powder, but I always prefer it. So onto the brows. Again, like my previous video, I wouldn't recommend for a beginner to go straight into mad, crazy, filled in brows. So I prefer like a brush through if I was a beginner. And I would recommend the Benefit Gimme Brow, and this one's in medium deep, and it just looks like this. Now I've used this since I went to LA, and I actually picked my first one up in San Francisco, and I literally have had it in my life since then. This is probably the third one I've owned, so I really recommend these guys. I used to get the light medium, and now I'm getting the medium dark because my hair is darker. So it's just the same principle, except from the wand is a lot more thinner and a lot more smaller, pigmented, colours the hairs, sets them down, makes your brows look fuller, which I absolutely love. It does say it's a volumizing fiber gel. I don't know where the fibers come from, but it does make my brows feel a little bit more filled in and fuller. Obviously if you have wonky eyebrows like I do, they're never gonna nearly match without filling them in properly, but as a beginner you don't really need to worry about that, and I would definitely recommend this guy. Okay, so on to my contour, highlight and blush. So as a beginner, this is probably going to be a beginner's choice, and actually this wasn't my beginning one, to be honest. I used a few others before I fell in love with this one, and this is the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. Now the good thing about these, especially if you're a beginner, comes with a brush, so you don't have to worry about brush, and because it's a flat top, it really does create that chiseled in features that you want for a contour. It comes with a little mirror, and the beautiful product, it's kind of a neutral bronzer. There's no like reddish tones or yellow tones or muddy tones. It's kind of a neutral shade. It is light, but it is buildable, which is really good. So if you are starting out and a beginner, this is a great one for you. Not only can you contour with it by building the contour up, you can also bronze up your face with it, with just a light dusting and swirling around your face. What I do is I actually use a different one to contour, but what I used to do was contour with this until I got a deepish contour, not too over dramatic, and then I got another brush, swirled it around and buff it in a 3 shape on my face, so I get the bronzed under here, on my cheeks and on my temples. So I absolutely love this guy, and it's a great product to start off with. As a blush goes, again, another one from Benefit, and it's the Rockature from Benefit. I've got loads of these blushes from Benefit because they're so handy. Again, they come with a brush, and yes, I've used this brush. Not everyone uses them if they've got their own brushes, but I do. Again, a mirror and this beautiful, almost like dusty rose shade with a little bit of gold fleck in it. I love it. It's such a nice blush. It kind of gives you a pinky warm cheek without looking too over the top or too pinkish or too shimmery. It's such a good blush, and for a beginner, usually we go for blushes. Come on, let's be serious. I think I've always gone for a blush when I've started out in makeup, so this one is a great one to go for. Highlight is everything nowadays. Not everyone can live without highlight. I know I cannot live without my highlight. I love highlights. I have so many of them, it's unbelievable. I have creams, liquids, a lot of powders, and sometimes I use eyeshadows as highlights because I just love highlights. And my one that I would recommend as a beginner is Soft and Gentle from MAC. This was the first high-end highlighter I had ever bought, and this is actually the first one I've ever had. That's really sad. And because highlighting hasn't come into effect really for probably a couple of years ago, it came in like really, and now it's like massive. So that's probably why I've got loads still in here. I do sanitize it, but this is amazing. Literally, I only need a little bit and like put it on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, under my eyebrows, on my cupid's bow. Love this guy. A nice subtle highlight, which is perfect, especially for beginners, because you don't want to put something on and it just looks like chunks of glitter stuck to your face. I think this is great, especially if you're a beginner and you want to do some highlighting. Go for this guy because a little goes a long way, it lasts a long time, and you can build it up, so you don't have to just go straight in and like smear it across your face. You can go light, and light is the best way because you can build it up and you can use it as an eyeshadow. So yes, I absolutely love that, and I would definitely recommend it. On to the eyes. Now, like my last video, when I think about beginners, I think about something that's easy, something that's easy to do, quick to do, almost like an everyday makeup. So I would recommend the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick, and mine's in Golden Bronze. And these shadow sticks are so easy to use. Literally, you just swipe it across your lid, blend out with your finger or a brush if you want to, and then you're good to go. So mine is broken. Unfortunately, when you're traveling, it does break, but it just looks like this goldeny bronze shade. It's so pretty. You can get them in a variety of shades. You can get them in a variety of brands. You don't just have to go for Bobbi Brown. This is just the one that I would recommend because I just think they're really, really nice. Nearly the same shade color as my drugstore one. It's a great color for like summer time, and because it's long wear as well, you just like swipe it on, you're done for the whole day. You can get up at like 6 in the morning, and then at 10 o'clock at night it'll still be good to go. So I definitely recommend these shadow sticks just because they're easy to use, and as a beginner you don't want to faff around with like cut creases and things. You just want something easy, so I would definitely recommend these. Eyeliner, again, wing liner, you don't need to worry about that, especially if you're a beginner. You might just be doing these, getting a beginner kit because in high end, because you want to work on high end rather than drugstore, you know, same kind of thing. So I would recommend the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencils. Now mine's in Stag, which is kind of a browny shimmery shade, but it's so dark that it almost looks black, and it just looks like this. Now these last a long time. You don't need to worry about like them smearing if you get watery eyes, because I do, especially when the aircon is on in the car or it's got quite breezy. My eyes tend to run when I've got my contacts in, and I don't want an eyeliner that bleeds, and I'm sure a lot of you don't want an eyeliner that is going to smear across your face. So I definitely recommend these guys because they have so many shade ranges. You can go for black, you can go for shimmer black, light black, dark grey to pink and green and blue if you want. They are so good and last such a long time. For a beginner, it is best to go for something that lasts a long time, is very pigmented and gives you what you want. So I would definitely recommend this guy. For mascara, It's probably the first mascara I've actually ever got high end. Obviously not the actual one because I used up that one ages ago, but it's a mini version, and it's the Benefit They're Real mascara. Now this got me into long lashes. Literally, I was obsessed with long lashes when I saw this guy. The wand is like pretty unique. It's pretty prickly. It gives you that long lash look, and when I've been doing posts and blogs and things about long lashes, I look for that wand because I know it does wonders. So I would definitely recommend that, purely because it does leave your lashes looking longer. And I had so many compliments about, like, did I have eyelash extensions? Was I wearing false lashes? What did I have on my eyes? And it was that, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone going for mascaras, especially high-end mascaras for the first time, because it's a great one to start off with, and it lasts all day. I'm pretty sure it's nearly waterproof because I've been swimming, I've been in the bath, in the shower, and it does not come off. It does not budge. It's like really hard to come off, but it does eventually come off. Don't worry that it's gonna like stay on your eyes, but it is literally hands down one of my favorite all-time holy grail mascaras. And for someone starting out, it's cheap enough and it's just amazing. Now my final product, like my last video, is lips, and I mentioned this in my last video, and it is the MAC Cream Sheen Cream Cup. Now I always would recommend for a beginner to get a nude shade, just because I think that for a beginner, nudes are probably easier to use than brights and bolds and darks and oranges. Now Cream Cup is one that I would just suggest anyway, because if you can tell, I've used it quite a lot, but I'm not saying that that's the one you should get. Try out all the other nudes, because you might find that your skin tone suits a different nude. I have quite a few nudes and quite a few brown nudes that are different for different people, so you might find if you're darker skin toned, a dark brown nude is better for you than Cream Sheen Cream Cup. But yes, I would definitely recommend MAC lipsticks as a first time lip sticker. Again, lip glosses and stuff is just too much for me, and I think for the quality, not to say that I haven't got high-end lip glosses, I do. I just think that they're just too tacky. There's nothing different from a lip gloss from the drugstore to a lip gloss from MAC. I find them exactly the same consistency, so I wouldn't recommend like going that way. But as a lipstick, firstly, look at it, it's amazing, and secondly, they are great. There's a huge variety of shades. They smell amazing. They smell like vanilla. You can get addicted to buying these, I must say. But I would definitely recommend this as a first time lipstick. I'm not saying that MAC is the first time lipstick, people, but it is slightly more affordable than Charlotte Tilbury, though Charlotte Tilbury is amazing as well, but I would just recommend MAC overall. So that is it for my high-end starter kit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, like I said in my last video, this is just what I would recommend to my younger self, and if I knew some of this stuff and if this stuff was available when I was younger. I'm not saying that you need this stuff or your kit isn't complete without this stuff. I'm just giving you what my preference is. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you're not, and leave a comment down below what you thought, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!